we are looking for Sir 9, who's going to be playing in one of these other heats. And he's the guy to watch. He took down last week, correct?
Yeah, he's the one that took down last week, and obviously one of the biggest trash talkers at the arena. So he's a ton of fun to engage with and to talk with about. He's always
talks a lot of trash. He's a great guy to talk to.
He really is.
You got to walk up and have a conversation with him. It feels a little weird to tell somebody that. It's like, hey, this guy's going to trash talk you. You should go have a conversation with him.
He's a really nice guy. He's going to trash talk you until then. But actually 2 weeks ago, he didn't end up qualifying for the Final 10. But he ended up winning last week. But 2 weeks ago, he just wasn't able to get in that Final 10. I think he said he ended up like lying on the floor and just kind of sat there after an interview with Jordan and just was like, he's like, this is it. This is the end of my Mario Kart career.
Well, I'm sure it also can have a lot to do with, and this is really for any game, especially games that go in a tournament format that have group stages.
Yeah.
Some groups are going to be harder than others.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it could just be that week he was in a more stacked group too. I wasn't here, I'm not sure, but he took one down. So it's not the end of his Mario Kart career. He's still got another chance. He's going to be here tonight playing. I'm looking forward to that one.
Absolutely, and we're going to be seeing these players are ready for qualifier number 2, so they are going to be getting on the stage here shortly. Going to be going underway, and these will be your stage players for today. Going to be a lot of cool names that we haven't seen before. So we have the likes of Zunkin, we have Agent 7, we have the awesome Michael, we have, I believe it's Kyret, and then we have Peace Spice, Mr. Duke, we have Optimus Piggy, Dr. Fishy, T-Rex Tom, and Janelle Season as well. So T-Rex Tom we've seen before last week. A lot of new names though.
Big supporter of T-Rexes, so T-Rex Tom's my guy for this round. I'm backing T-Rex Tom.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet earlier from him. I believe he was talking, added himself in the arena. I think he got 9th place last week in his qualifier, so he just said a 6th place spot for him in the qualifier is good enough for him. But obviously, you got to have higher hopes than that if you're trying to get in that final 10 spot.
If you got T-Rex in your name, I'm expecting big things. Just go ahead and maybe get a longer stick shift to reach up to your little T-Rex arm. Get the car in gear and take down that first place.
You got a big head and little arms, and you're seeing them on your screen and doing just
that.
Just
lean the head, lean at the neck as you get into the corners, and
the tilt controls.
Yeah, tilt controls. Just use exactly.
And see exactly how that's working out for him. Seeing a lot of these guys getting ready and started up with their Nintendo Switches, as well with the Pro Controller you see on your screen right there is going to be the black little controller. Pretty much like I wouldn't say original controller, but it's kind of like, a classic style controller.
It looked like a mix between, like a standard controller and almost kind of like an Xbox controller to some extent. It looked very similar to one of those.
Yeah, it kind of fits that comfortable feel, yeah. So a lot of these guys are just already used to that. You're seeing it on their screen, they're getting ready, customizing their kind of options.
They do that a lot in Smash too, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like Smash is one of those ones where you're going to use the actual controller. You're not going to use the Wii.
Yeah, definitely
the Wii
not.
controls.
The Wii controls are actually just so much harder than using a GameCube controller, which is funny because, it's obviously made for the Wii. It's not made for a GameCube, but it's obviously a lot better with the GameCube controller. So a lot of these guys are getting ready and back into action here. We talked about it in previous weeks as well, just the different type of wheels and karts and gliders and everything that can really affect the outcomes for a lot of these racers. And a lot of their lap times and speeds and everything like that can severely be affected just by their choice at the beginning. So it all starts with your customization. We see Sir 9 actually has a really solid loadout and has been pursuing that since, the week 1 he's came here. Obviously, he said he was perfecting a strategy from last week, but he still ended up getting first. He said last week he didn't expect himself to get into the final 10, and then he ended up winning the entire tournament because he was quote unquote practicing a strategy.
So he's trying to figure out a system so that he can just win these back to back. I mean, if you're in the middle of figuring it out process and you're taking them down, that's a good sign that what you're doing is working. Keep working on it.
Especially when they had such stiff competition like the likes of Glitchtastic, Guinness Guy we've seen coming into that Final 10 all the time as well. So a lot of these guys are going to be going ready into their races. Seeing the wildcard qualifiers right now, obviously 32 points is the highest in that qualifier. So if you get, I would say 25 points or above right now, you're in a pretty solid spot moving forward in the wildcard qualifier. So if you don't get that first 2 spots, having like 25 plus points is going to be solid for you. And you're seeing all of them getting ready, going into the game settings here. See, this is exactly what we're talking about. They do have those different kind of gliders and wheel settings. So everything can actually affect your speed and your traction and handling. We've actually seen a surprising amount of heavyweights taking out the victories in a lot of these races, and which is interesting because you feel like you don't want to lose all of that speed and the acceleration by picking a heavyweight character, but it's actually a lot better for you in certain maps like underwater maps and ground maps. So actually put yourself at a solid advantage playing a heavyweight character and getting yourself into that spot. We see Sir Nine's strategy is using Isabel, who's a lightweight character, I believe. And so he has a lot more acceleration and speed handling, but he doesn't have as good as traction. And obviously, if you get hit as a lightweight character, it affects you a little bit more than being hit by heavyweight, of course.
Yeah, so you got a little bit more weight to throw around it on the heavyweight character. You are sacrificing that acceleration. But you go lightweight, you gain acceleration, and you don't really win the body battles as much. A lot of times you're gonna get knocked around if somebody really wants to mess with you. So definitely strategies go into place, and we just saw a heavyweight win, right?
Yeah, we just saw Dry Bowser win, who's like one of the heaviest characters in the game. So yeah,
and we're saying that Sir Nine has won on a lightweight character, so both are viable. Both are viable options.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like a lot of it goes down to the regular play as well as the customization. Obviously, customization gives you a couple seconds here and there if you're really used to your loadout. Like we see Glitchtastic uses Boo as well, who's another heavyweight character, and it's pretty much similar loadout as well. So a lot of these guys just getting used to their similar strategies and trying to get used to all that. Same difference going into this next race is here in qualifier number 2. So we're going to be going into this one shortly. Very excited to see what's going on in this one. There's a lot of new names that we normally haven't seen. So going to be going to this
one guy that's masked up like a bandit too. I don't know if you just saw that. One of them's wearing a bandana on his face. Look out for that guy. He's coming to bring the hurt.
Yeah, he's coming to bring the pain. Yeah, and you're seeing, unfortunately, one of these characters not getting that boost at the beginning, so it's going to be dropping all the way down to 10th. Could be a strategy. It could also just not hit that one. Seeing the Ultra Boost, first Ultra Boost of the night coming out on that player with that purple drift. Just not able to control the tracks too well, the car too well, so it's going to be, unfortunately, losing some speed here and there, trying to get themselves in a better spot here moving forward. And we're going to be seeing him still taking some shots here, but obviously there is a lot of potential to get yourself back up, especially when you have 3 mushrooms.
And we also have a special guest back in the studio, so Lauren's going to be joining us here. So, yeah, Lauren, welcome back.
I got sent back here because you guys are being too boring, so I'm here to provide some completely uneducated color to the commentary.
Oh, I thought.
No stats, just all entertainment.
It's not a punishment?
Well, I mean, maybe for chat, but for you guys, it's a reward.
It might still be I still might consider this a punishment. Well, we're going to see this guy coming through the corner here, and he's going to go ahead and throw out that coin, pick it up, and immediately get some new hardware there, but not able to see what that is as we make the switch. And he doesn't look happy, man. I'm telling you, with the bandana on, he looks mad.
That's a focus face. What are you talking about? He is intensely focused on what's happening.
It's intimidating. The bandana makes it more intimidating.
That's true, and we're seeing this player in 6th place now getting a Piranha Plant and the Fire Flower, so he's going to be able to chomp his opponents in his path. Going off, and you see exactly how that works right there. Going to be just destroying one of the players in his path.
He nommed him.
He did. How many chomps do you actually get with that, Troy?
I think it's just a time. It's like however many. I think it's like a timed period. I think it's like 5 or 6 seconds.
Oh, I would.
So if you have 5 or 6 people there, you could effectively chomp 5 or 6 people. An incoming blue shell, and that is going to connect with the person in first place. And that's, the blue shell, story of the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Blue shells are going to be very popular. You're seeing this first place player all the way dropping down to 3rd place now from the blue shell into the red shell combo. So he's going to lose a lot of speed, and you just got to control your drifting around all these corners like that. We see, talking about the coins again, you're seeing a lot of those being dropped. Want to make sure you're maintaining those 10 coins throughout the rest of the race to get that 2.5% speed boost and get yourself in a better spot. Moving forward, which you're obviously seeing, they are finishing lap number 3 here, so this player is going to get in that 5th place with Mario. Mario is going to be one of the average characters in the game, of course, being one of the default Nintendo characters, I guess.
One thing I will say about Mario Kart so far, as Cass is it, they're action-filled, they're fun rounds, and they're really quick. You kind of get in, get your fun, on to the next one. I'm liking the format so far.
Yeah,
for my first time casting it, I'm enjoying this so far.
Yeah, it's obviously really cool to see a lot of these guys just kind of going through and just finishing his races in a couple minutes here and there. Seeing the Mii character actually winning that one out, so that's a new addition with Mario Kart as well. Is the Mii character actually one of the heaviest characters in the game as well? So another heavyweight taking down that first place finish again. Going to be moving forward into race number 2 with that solid 15 points, going to that first place spot. Got a cool shirt on right there as well with the game on. Nice Mario and Yoshi there. Really cool. I think it's Tetris in the background, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't exactly.
It looks like it.
It looks like Tetris, but there's definitely some new pieces because those are not normal Tetris pieces.
It's Tetris for 2018, man.
Oh.
We're going to race number 2 here.
2018. Why didn't anybody tell me before this? Thank you, Lauren. I'm glad you're here. If I didn't have you here, I wouldn't have figured it out.
Going into race number 2 here. We're going to be starting off shortly with these guys, so seeing the meat characters still taking that first place spot now. Moving forward in these first place, only with 2 coins, going to be holding that edge very nicely and drifting around pretty well. This is where heavyweights really do excel, though, is that underwater strategy here, and it's going to be a lot harder for these lightweight characters to control their traction.
Seems like a lot of underwater.
Yeah, and most of this map is underwater. Just like there's very slim parts that come out, like this part where you jump out.
So a lot of the strategy should be going into knowing what circuit you're going to be racing on as well, right? And how many maps are they going to be underwater, and how much of that makes up. I would assume that would go into your strategy of picking your character.
Yeah, well, definitely. They do have the random maps on, so they have a limited amount or not a limited amount, but any map they can be chosen from. So it's kind of hard to gauge your loadout off of that if you don't really know what you're going into. Obviously, if you're going into something like Rainbow Road and you have a fully water kitted out, customized loadout, and you're going into somewhere like Rainbow Road,
probably not going to do
too well. Yeah, if you don't have any traction, you're going to be in a really rough spot. And seeing these players still trying to get their way around, you're seeing that mid character in a solid first place spot, closely followed in second and third by another heavyweight character, and just seeing how close it might be, and seeing these players getting hit, unfortunately down to 7th place now. Very unlucky moving forward.
Unlucky.
And seeing that player just run into a rock right there, unfortunately.
Unlucky again.
And this, another unlucky finish. As soon as you're flying, you're going to take that even more bit of a time decrease when you get hit in the air like that.
There is no lucky players on the map right now. Everybody is just getting bodied out, left and right. Falling off the eel, right in the edge of the eel. I like that. Nice little character in there. Nice little ad. It took me a second to figure out that's what it was.
Now, I have a question about the edging and drifting. Is it possible to fully spin out like it was in the OG games, where you just kind of like completely lose your traction and now you're stuck for some downtime?
I think you have to get hit in the end.
By like a banana Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So like fully.
I haven't seen it occur yet. If it happens, I'll let you know. In case you don't see it on the screen.
I'd appreciate that actually.
Okay,
I'll
draw
heads up
attention
would
to
be
it
nice.
So we're seeing this player in 6th place now, moving forward, trying to get themselves in a better spot, and seeing that 5th place player unfortunately getting hit right before that, but seeing a bullet bill coming in right there. He's barely going to dodge these players, so they're going into the 3rd lap now. This player's got to control, otherwise he's going to drop all the way down, and unfortunately drops all the way down to 7th place, but wasn't able to control that at the very end and lost a bit of traction, a bit of time there, unfortunately. And seeing the me character just trying to take this one out again. Very nice finish from them. That's 2 races in a row now that they've gotten that 1st place spot. And
that would appear to be a lightweight character to me, but it looks like they did fairly well for the underwater.
Yeah, well, the me character is one of the heaviest in the game.
It just doesn't look. It doesn't look like it would be heavy at all. Character,
yeah, no, for sure.
Like you put him next to a Bowser, and you're like, Bowser's a big dude. Like you don't think the Mii's kind of
like
on
Thor's
that level.
hammer.
And also, Boo's one of the heavy characters in the game too, but it's a ghost.
But it's a ghost. That makes no sense. You can't follow physics rules for the driving, but not for the characters.
And we have our boys icing upward in the stands here, coming back for another qualifier from the Friday Frags games that we saw yesterday. Upward was under a secret name. Still seems like he's under a secret name as well. That's not really Icy. That's not really Upward. Those are just people in the crowd having a good time here in Saturday Night Speedway. Looking forward to qualifier number 2, race number 3.
It's just 2 random guys that we picked out of the crowd and put on camera.
Absolutely.
Definitely not anybody that we've ever seen before.
No, new faces in the crowd. So we're going to be going into 3rd race here shortly now. And seeing these guys are going to be going onto the beach. So this is going to be a map really good for the lightweight characters because they're going to have a lot more handling. And the beach is obviously going to be a slow start. But you're seeing this 10th place player already getting knocked out pretty early and all the way switched around.
The 10th person was actually driving the wrong direction down the track there for a second. I'm not sure what the strategy was. They really wanted to guarantee that 10th place start to get the good items. That's what it was.
It's for scouting purposes. They check out the course ahead of time in the reverse direction so that they can get a better lay of the land.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. That's exactly what it was.
It sounds like a great strategy.
Yeah, we're going to see this Mario player now is going into that 3rd place spot. Mario is one of the average characters, I guess you could say. Pretty much everything about him is just medium settings, like default and average.
I think they just called Mario mediocre.
I'm going to have to say I disagree. There's nothing average about Mario.
That's true. But in Mario Kart, he's very average. And he's going to be one of the more balanced characters in the game we've seen for the medium characters, or the medium weight characters. So seeing this player now in 9th place, trying to get himself back up, probably going to use that item smuggling that I was talking about earlier, has those 10 coins and is going to get another item there.
I think he's just holding on to that bullet bill for the moment. And a blue shell.
Yes, so good little shortcut right there to get himself all the way to 4th place now. Has a blue shell in his inventory, and that's exactly what I was talking about with the item smuggling. Get yourself to a bad spot, and then nice use of the blue shell right there to get it before he ends up taking another item. Gonna be using that star to knock that player out. Seeing the blue shell coming into first place, hitting the mid character. He's gonna stop before he takes the jump. Smart move there, so he doesn't end up taking that loss of speed on the jump. He's
nice
good move
strategy.
from
I
him
like it.
right there.
I would
as
have never
well.
thought of that in a million years.
Yeah, it's a very nice spot for him to slow down right there and to get himself in a better spot. Still gets overtaken for that first place spot, and he's going to be trying to move forward into that second place now. Seeing this player on your screen is going to be into that first place finish now. Seeing if any blue shells affect this last lap. Seeing the Mario on your screen has this 10 coins, so it has this speed boost moving forward in this one. It's going to be a close race. It does knock out the dry bones in front of her, so she's going to take that fifth place spot now. Going into one of the last corners of the map, moving forward. Going to be seeing the Mario on your screen. Going to be taking a nice drift, and unfortunately hitting it down and all the way to 7th place from that. And 8th place now, 9th place, 10th place, all the way from 5th place. Gets knocked all the way down, but is able to take some traction back and gets themselves back into 8th after nearly knocking all the way down.
Oh.
I never can count well,
I
so.
thought we were bad at math, but you just
I am terrible at math.
that was great.
Every time I do
I
Friday
appreciate
Frags,
you, because if it wasn't for you, we would have failed at math as a whole.
I-
But we've got at least basic counting down.
That's true.
1 to 10, we've got it.
Fifth, well, not even 1 through 10. I just did like 5th through 10th. So I can at least do the
We can
bottom
cover
half.
at
If you can do
least
first through fourth,
half of the numbers in the first 10. Is that correct math? Is that 5 through 10, or is that
Between
or
the
or do
three
we
of us,
count-
it's 1/3 of a brain.
Or do we
We're
count the
doing
5?
really well,
Does the
guys.
5 count and that make it 6, so it's 60%? You see what I'm doing here? Like math is not. It's just not it.
as soon as you start adding letters and stuff from math, that's when I just lost track. It's like another language.
Solve for
that you had
X.
to learn. Yeah, and you're like, why do I need to solve for X? That's not a number.
He's right. X is not a number.
I mean, I'm just saying. Moving forward,
Wait,
you're seeing
it's not.
we just blew Lauren's mind in the booth. You're seeing Get a Sky on your screen smiling. Going into the final race is going to be a Rainbow Road map. So the first Rainbow Road map we're going to be seeing of tonight, going to be at the end of qualifier number 2. So this is going to be a very close-knit race. There's a few shortcuts on this one as well if you're able to control your character. This is where you lose friendships, though, and relationships, because Rainbow Road is a very savage map, and if you get hit by anything on your way around, you're obviously going to be losing a lot of time here. As you see, this player is getting knocked all the way down to that 9th place spot. Now you're seeing on their screen, going to be trying to move forward with the rest of this lap. Obviously, 2 more laps still remaining, so they're going to be pursuing that first place finish here. Again, see, obviously, there was the me character that got that first place twice in a row. Wasn't sure if they were able to take that one down in the 3rd lap as well, but you're seeing some red mushrooms coming now on your screen, going to be trying to get themselves in a better spot moving forward. And it seems like a pretty close-knit race. Me character kind of has a bit of an advantage here, though.
So is there any straightforward strategies on this map, the way we were talking about one of the maps earlier we were talking about is basically hug that left wall. You want the left turn every single time. That's where you want to go. Is there a straight up strategy like that on Rainbow Road, or is it more of needing to know where you are in the curves? Because a lot of it just looks more like a spaghetti bowl, man. Like trying to figure out where you are when looking down at the other levels. It's a little bit harder to keep track of.
Yeah, it's more like needing to know your direct area, and obviously you're seeing a lot of these players falling off a lot, and you're going to be losing a lot of time here and there once you fall off that much. Seeing just dropping 3 times right there, dropping all the way down to 10th place. But yeah, really knowing your area and knowing the shortcut on this map, because you're actually going to gain a couple seconds from the shortcut, and making sure you have a defensive shell on this one is going to be very important to have in your inventory, because having the defensive shells is going to be solid moving forward. See the blue shell, though, going to be coming into that first place spot. He still has a really solid lead, though. He doesn't really have to worry about that. Seeing 2 bullet bills on the bottom right side of the map, going to try and get themselves back into that first place spot. But this me character still has a really solid lead moving forward into lap number 3. Still about half of the race to go, so something could come in his path. He could get that taken away from him in the very last part of the match.
You're killing it right now. I just want to let you know. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Man,
I appreciate that.
the microphone is so clear. I can hear you. Clear as day now. You are correct. The gameplay doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing now this. No, go for it. Yeah, no.
This is all you.
I love Rainbow Road, so I'm all for it. It's actually one of my favorite maps in Mario Kart, of course. Seeing the Piranha Plant coming out, you're trying to chomp these characters out. He might be able to get that chomp off, but unfortunately, not able to take that 3rd place spot in the very end. See a blue shell at the very end, but that's not going to do too much.
Oh no! Clipped by the blue shell. A little late for that one, though.
Yeah, I can't. I think it's Baby Rosalina is the, or maybe that's the blonde one. I don't know why I keep forgetting these.
Pretty
but
sure it's Daisy. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Rosalina, I mean, it's like.
Isn't she blonde? Isn't Rosalina blonde?
I think Rosalina is the blonde
And
one.
Daisy's
They both have an
Peach's
A, the name's
brunette
the same,
frumpy
correct?
cousin.
Right. That's true. So it might,
I know.
yeah. So it might just be that. Indeed, that is going to be Baby Daisy. So you are correct
Look
in
at
that
that.
sense.
Weird.
So,
Wow.
Baby Daisy.
Look who
was
else
born.
is the
I shouldn't
expert
have.
in the room, huh?
I should know.
Mario Kart. Mario Karter here.
Look at that celebration going on. He's really excited about how that race went down for him.
I don't know if that looks like celebration or if that's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's too happy. But it looks like, he did pretty well. And the Mii character, obviously one of the ones moving forward into these. The qualifier number 2, pretty solidified in that spot. And going to be pretty much probably taking that one out and in a pretty decent spot moving forward. Seems like they got maybe 2 or 3 wins in that 4-race setup. So had a pretty decent chance going into that final 2. And we'll see just exactly how that goes out.
Are you looking at the scores in front of you right
I'm
now?
looking at the scores in front of me, and it looks like actually second and third place are tied currently at 32
Really?
points each.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we have replays at least for qualifier number 2. But yeah, I know for the tie, it's kind of generally hard to decipher. I think just one of them goes through, and in that certain scenario, so they have to try and figure out, I guess, who got the better placement or something.
I'll go through whether someone had fastest lap time in lap 1 or who had the highest overall average placement. There's something in place,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
definitely. And you're seeing, obviously, this Mii player was very, pretty much controlled first place throughout most of these races. Was able to easily solidify their spot going into the final 2 as well.
I think he may have won all of them, right? So what's the points for first?
I think it's 60. So you have,
No,
so
first, if you take first place,
it's
per
15.
round.
Yeah,
15.
for first place.
Okay. So 46. Okay, so no, not first all the way
1,
through.
2, and then got like a decent place in the next 2. So
Okay.
Quick maths.
quick math. Not good at that generally. But you're seeing it on your screen who exactly won this round going forward. So obviously you see that tie for second and third place. So Kai Red's going to be moving forward in that final 2. Have the awesome Michael taking away that first place spot with 46 points. But Dr. Fishy's still not in a bad spot with the 32 points. Still going to have that chance in the wildcard qualifier. You have Agent with 27, T-Rex Tom in 5th place. So better placement from him. He wanted that 6th place spot. Got himself to 5th now. You have Janelle Season as well. You have Zumpkin. You have Peace Splice, Optimus Piggy, and Mr. Duke, unfortunately, with the 7 points at the end there. Not able to get exactly what they wanted going through qualifier number 2.
Maybe they got exactly what they wanted.
True.
Maybe they got some fun out
It's
of it.
also better than nothing. Let's be real.
And yeah, that's really true actually. But we're already going to be going into qualifier number 3 here. So